हेलो एंड वेलकम टू प्लैनेट बॉलीवुड। आई एम कुणाल सलूजा। शी इज सागरिका छेत्री। मीटू मूवमेंट के दौरान हमारे देश के कुछ बहुत बड़े लोगों के नाम सामने आए, जिनमें से एक नाम है वेटरन एक्टर मिस्टर आलोक नाथ का, जिन पर रेप और सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट का एलिगेशन लगाया विंटा नंदा जी ने। अब 5 जनवरी के दिन डिंडोशी सेशन कोर्ट से उन्हें बेल मिल गई है और इस पूरे मुद्दे के बारे में बात करने के लिए वी हैव विद अस विंटा नंदा जी। वेलकम टू आवर शो मैम।
Vinta ji, welcome to Planet Bollywood.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us again. Vinta ji, the anticipatory bail has been granted by the court. Let me start with asking you, what exactly is going on in your mind right now?
Actually, I was prepared for this because I was quite clear that anticipatory bail would be granted to him. और मेरे जो लॉयर्स हैं ध्रुति कपाडिया, फरानाज खरबारी और कुणाल तिवारी, उन्होंने मुझे पहले से बता के रखा था व्हाट द नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस, क्योंकि हमने उनके एंटिसिपेटरी बेल के अगेंस्ट मूव नहीं किया था. वी डिडंट आस्क फॉर हिज अरेस्ट और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. वी डिडंट अपोज हिज एंटिसिपेटरी बेल वेहिमेंटली. मेन थिंग इज रीजन बीइंग दैट ये जो केस हुआ है, जो प्रोसीडिंग्स चले थे, वो इज बिटवीन द स्टेट एंड Alok Nath, not between us and Alok Nath. The FIR has been filed by the police, and the public prosecutor was arguing on behalf of the police on the anticipatory bail. Ever since the FIR has been filed, Alok Nath was expected to go for investigation to the police, and he's been absconding. क्योंकि उनको डर था कि वो अरेस्ट हो जाएंगे, इसलिए उन्होंने एंटिसिपेटरी बेल के लिए अप्लाई किया, एप्लीकेशन डाली. हमने इंटरवीन किया था इस प्रोसीडिंग्स में, क्योंकि जब एप्लीकेशन उन्होंने जो लिखी और डाली हमारे पास आई, उसमें इतनी ज्यादा झूठ थे और इतने फॉल्स चीजें थे. तो हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि लेट अस इंटरवीन और हमें एक मौका दिया जाए जिसमें हम इस एप्लीकेशन को रिप्लाई कर पाए. तो हमारी तरफ से रिटन सबमिशन सबमिट किया हमने. Joe, the learned judge, was very kind, and he allowed us to submit that written reply to the application. It could not be taken in consideration to the court order because that's not how law works. I'm also learning along with you, on all these matters.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, of course, the headlines went totally out of control yesterday, and they were a little surprising because, very there were certain words and things that were used as headlines everywhere. But then those words were there in the order. So, I mean, I have no complaints about it. But subsequently, like you are talking to me now, media has always been very, very supportive to me right through this entire last 3 months. And everyone is talking to me about what my reaction to it is also.
Right.
So कल के headlines जो हुए उस time पे मुझे थोड़ा लगा कि ये क्या हो गया, लेकिन by this morning I was fine because my side of the story is also being covered, and what I am saying is also going into the headline space now.
Okay, विंटा जी, कितना जरूरी है that justice takes its right course, because बहुत सारे लोग हैं इस केस को बहुत अच्छे से फॉलो कर रहे हैं, हर छोटी छोटी चीज फॉलो कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों की उम्मीदें जुड़ी हैं बेसिकली.
है तो सही, but let's थोड़ा we should not be very idealistic, because ऐसा नहीं है that change that we are expecting to happen will happen overnight. Me Too movement जो हुआ, it was a very big revolutionary movement, जिसमें काफी लोगों को मौका मिला, जैसे मुझे भी मौका मिला. It was an enabling environment जिसमें मैं अपनी सच्चाई बोल सकी, and it went to the right ears and it got heard. Like this, there were so many other women who were able to also come out and speak what they were going through. That in itself was a huge change that took place.
Right.
And because of that, there have been structural reforms across all our industry associations and bodies. जहाँ पे एक आईसीसी, जब 20 साल पहले मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ था, I had nowhere to go to complain.
Right.
Today there are ICCs in every single association. We must understand that most of us people, like writers and directors and artists and singers and lyricists, all of us are not under the umbrella of corporatization. We are freelancers. And as freelancers, we are vulnerable because there's no structures to support us, except for the associations that bind us and the associations to whom we become members of. Now, all the associations called Mr. Nath to give his side of the story, but he refused to do it. And there were many women who complained against Mr. Nath as well. So in that sense, that change has taken place, and I think the next generation, your generation, will definitely benefit from the change that has happened. But when you ask me that what will be the change, I mean, like, will justice be done in my case?
Right.
I don't know, because I don't know whether our legal system supports what happened 20 years ago or not. And in which way will it act towards a person like me? Because there will be doubt. There will be doubt that I'm not telling the truth because it's come after 20 years and there is no evidence. So
Absolutely.
I have to be ready to face that as well. But that doesn't change my truth. And that doesn't change what I'm saying is right. It is right. It's the truth. I would not bring myself out and say all these things in the open if that wasn't true.
I'd like to point out here that there has been a lot of discussion on social media and a lot of questions are being raised that how is a person supposed to remember the exact date and time of the incident, especially when it's so traumatic for the person. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, Abhi, little while ago, another journalist asked me the same question, and I was asking her. I said, Seema, you tell me, were you touched inappropriately in your life once or another time? She said, yeah, many times. I said, do you remember the date? She said, no. I said, do you remember the incident? She said, I can never forget. That is our truth as women. Not for a single day throughout our lives do we forget if we were in a train or a bus or walking on the street when someone misbehaved with us or touched us inappropriately, insulted us or humiliated us in any way. When while you were in a meeting and you were talking to a man, he was looking at your breasts. Right. You don't forget these incidents ever. Why would I forget the rape? But you don't also remember the dates. I mean, something that I have internalized, a silence that I have internalized over 20 years. The fact that I have survived and lived for 20 years with this, what had happened to me. Can you imagine how much I had shut out of my mind about this incident?
Absolutely.
Even till today, there are friends of mine who come and remind me of something which I had actually shut out from my mind. My one complaint cannot be taken as sacrosanct. They say there's a difference between the complaint I made and the statement that I made. The complaint is just a copy of my Facebook post which was written in 5 minutes. The statement given to the police was given over 5 hours. After having given the statement, another few friends of mine came and reminded me of this incident, and this also happened, and that also happened. I said, oh my God, yes, that's true. How did I forget about it? Why did I shut that out? Then I questioned myself as to I needed to shut that out. If I had not shut that out, I would not have been able to survive and live. So now if you take my statement, there will be more things that will come out. Can you then, because of that, diss what I said earlier? So I guess that is something that we have to travel as we go along with. And I'm introspecting now. I'm seriously introspecting now. I'm seriously looking at my life and saying that maybe I should not stop here with what I've started, because what I'm questioning are going to find answers in the future, and that will benefit women of this world in the future.
Absolutely, ma'am. You're setting an example for many unheard voices. So hats off to you for that.
Well,
Thank you.
विंटा जी, वैसे सोशल मीडिया पर भी आपको काफी सपोर्ट मिल रहा है, लोग भारी मात्रा में आपको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. उन लोगों से आप कुछ कहना चाहती हैं जो आपको इतना सपोर्ट दिखा रहे हैं?
आई एम ओवरवेल्म्ड ऑब्वियसली. मतलब मेरी ग्रैटिट्यूड मैं कैसे कन्वे करूं, आई डोंट नो. You know, I look at my social media, मैं ट्विटर पे देखती हूँ, every time I turn 100, 200 tweets होते हैं. कभी मुझे लगता है मैं इनको शेयर करूंगी तो लोग सोचेंगे तो मैं बहुत बोल्ड हो रही हूँ, मुझे नहीं करना चाहिए. कभी मैं शेयर करती हूँ और मैं थैंक यू बोलती हूँ, लोग सोचेंगे तो मैं अपनी पब्लिसिटी मांग रही हूँ, मुझे नहीं करना चाहिए. So I'm going through that phase right now, where I don't know what will be judged about what action I make. But I am very, very thankful and very, very grateful, because without the support that I'm getting on social media, without the support that I'm getting on the media, I don't think I would have been able to live through this, what I'm living through.
Right. Vinta ji, talking about the case now, what is going to be the next step, if you'd like to tell our viewers that?
I think it's now the ball is in the court of Mr. Nath and his team. Uh, the court order very clearly says that he should go for investigation and he should not, back off from there. And it will be expected he goes for investigation. And that is when, further to that, is when the charge sheet perhaps will be filed, trial will begin. So I have no role to play in it any longer
All right.
until such time that he goes for investigation, records his statement, and we see what the next step happens.
Well, thank you so much, Vinta ji, for sharing your side of the story with us.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you.
me.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
थैंक यू।
Thanks.
वेल ये थी विंटा नंदा जिनसे हमने जाना इनकी स्टोरी, लेकिन हमने आलोक नाथ जी से भी कनेक्ट करने की कोशिश की और जब हम उनसे पूछा कि क्या आप इस केस पर कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, उन्होंने कहा मैं इस पे कुछ नहीं कहना चाहता हूं, कोर्ट ने जो कहा है मैं उससे सहमत हूं।
Right, then on that note, एक छोटा सा ब्रेक लेते हैं, but stay tuned. We'll see you in a bit.